Hi, I'm Natalia, and welcome to my podcast about spirituality, wellness, and business. And today we're talking to Jean. He is the founder of Quantum Spirit AI company. Welcome. I'm very happy to see you here. It's a very big moment for me, and thank you for sharing. So I'm very glad that we met at the GITEX this year in Dubai, and I'm very grateful to have you as my friend. And can you please tell a little bit about yourself and your company, Quantum Spirit AI?
Natalia, thank you so much for having me here. It's actually something that I was very much looking forward because you have this capacity of listening that I think I've rarely seen in a human being. I think you're much aligned with your own body and others, and that's why you're able to listen so well and with so much love. And it's always so interesting to discuss with you because I know that I will have the best question any interviewer have asked me with you. I'm certain of that. About the company, right now in Quantum Spirit AI, we're implemented in many countries in the world. We are in Hong Kong, New York, Los Angeles, Singapore, Dubai, obviously, Saudi Arabia, Paris, where I come from, London, and Luxembourg, and Cayman Island. All of these places, we were always looking for this special person that would need our very premium offer because we right now are so ahead of the market that it's almost, we're almost too far ahead, and it's hard to understand people that value our offer completely. And we still manage to have a few dozen clients that completely see the value of our offer. But since we have various premium clients, we are very selective on who we help and how we help them. And so we always try to have a short number of clients that we take very good care of, and they give it back to us by referring us. That's why we did not do any massive ads and many publicity. It's a very inside business.
You are definitely one of the most smartest and talented people in this region. And I wanted to ask you, why did you pick Dubai? Because Dubai is well known for this concentration of very smart and talented people. What was the story behind choosing Dubai? You're a very well-traveled guy, and you lived in many countries in the world. Why did you choose Dubai specifically?
Dubai for me has been an obvious choice because I don't know anywhere in the world of another place that would completely combine very, very good lifestyle that is available in Dubai, where there is a lot of services that I've never seen anywhere else in the world. You need oil for your car, for example, someone come and fill up your tank, very cheap oil also, by the way. Of course, there is all the financial aspect that is also interesting when you're an entrepreneur, specifically coming from Europe, where mostly what I felt in Europe was disrespect towards entrepreneur. Like if it was only about the tax and the fact that we have no transparency on where our money go when we pay it, that would have been fine enough. But the real problem was that first, no one respects you as an entrepreneur in Europe. The banks don't want to loan you money. The people think that you're a clown. The state try to take everything you may generate, prevent you to hire people. It's very difficult, especially when you're starting. So I would advise any entrepreneur that would want to start a business to look for places like Dubai where you'll be able to thrive and meet the right people. But the true reason why I stayed in Dubai, I think, is the people I met. I think out of hundreds of people I met, because I went to a lot of conferences as a speaker or as just a normal viewer, and I met a lot of people. And actually in Dubai you meet people everywhere, to be fair. You meet people in the restaurants, you meet people in hotels, you meet people at event, networking, in conferences, in places like GITEX, where I met quite a lot of people, such as yourself. And I think 99% of my meetings were with amazing people that brought me so much more than I could ever hope for or expect. And people that were interesting, smart, that wanted to build things, that wanted to do things with their life. I think Dubai is the city where you have to do something. I think if anything, Dubai push you to always do something. I've never worked so much in my life than since I arrived in Dubai. And to be fair, I've never feel happier as well. Because I feel like I'm creating value every single day. I'm sharing things with people I care about. Like I create meaningful connection. I think this is really where Dubai stand off for me, because I think it's something I've not heard. Like when I came here in Europe, we criticized a lot Dubai, and for all the wrong reason, actually. Almost every single criticism that I heard about Dubai, like for example, the fact that it's expensive. Paris is much more expensive than Dubai. You want to eat at a random restaurant in Paris, it's going to cost you 25 euro. Here it's going to cost you 10 euro. You want to eat at a fancy restaurant in Paris, it's instantly going up to the hundreds. In Dubai, you can eat in a fancy restaurant for 30 euros per person. You can make your grocery, like just a Coca-Cola can. That surprised me the first time I arrived in a supermarket, and it was a 70 cents a can. In Paris, it's averagely at 1.5 euros. It's almost twice the price for something as common as Coca-Cola. So I think it's quite the reference to say that so much, like, I think there is a lot of jealousy in Western world, and people undervalue success a lot. And I think it's a very much a shame, because there are so many bright entrepreneurs that I've met in Europe and that are struggling, and they're very afraid to go to Dubai because they're afraid to be judged. They're afraid it's not going to be as good. They're afraid of all the things that, all the I told you so that people can say about Dubai. And in the end, the city is wonderful, and I'll definitely try to stay here as long as I can.
Yeah, I agree. I've heard so much nonsense before coming here from Miami, including my friends from America told me absolutely horrible things about Middle East, and coming here it was completely different. It changed my perspective. Do you feel like the trend of Silicon Valley moving here, all the companies, like tech companies moving here from America, or as they call it, the new New York?
Yeah, definitely. It's completely true. And you can even see it like business-wise. Like you can see a lot of business coming from America, coming from Delaware, and implementing here or investing here, like with all of their ability, trying to make something happen in the GCC and also in KSA, to be fair, in Saudi Arabia. And I wanted to say, like, one misconception like that I did not talk about is the place of women in these countries. Like, I care a lot about this. This is a battle that I've been having for a long time, because I was in very feminine space back in the day. And the thing is, it's super important for people to understand that women in Dubai, for example, they have gyms where there is hours for women. It could sound like segregation, but the truth is, in fact, they can come whenever they want. But they have special times where they know that they won't be bothered by any like stupid men that will make comments on her, the way she dresses or the way she's doing a squat or whatever, and they feel fully comfortable. And there is this for everything. Like in the metro, there is special seats for women. In the bus, the same. In the gym, there is special time. In the mayor office, there is seats and girls that will answer to you as a woman. Like, there's never been a city in the world right now where there has been that much a concentration of women in high position jobs actually than in Dubai. It's been there is a lot of article about that are very interesting, and I saw it at Jitex like so many times. I saw girls that I thought that maybe she was the front desk person because she was acting so natural and humble, and in fact she was the CEO of the company and sometimes the CEO of enormous brand. So that has been very touching for me to see this, and the level of respect that women get from Emiratis and Saudis. They are really they're really gentleman manner, like holding the door, letting you speak, holding your luggage. I think it's been very refreshing to see that.
I agree. So let's move on to your company. You've created this AI company called Quantum Spirit.
Yeah.
What was the story behind the name? Because it's a very unusual name for a tech company. You work with governments, you work with billionaires, with big corporations, and still the name has the spirit in it. So do you think AI has a spirit?
I think when I chose the name, I was more thinking of the spirit of humanity inside of the quantum world, which is the AI world. So it was much more about us having an impact, a positive impact with our spirit on AI. And the more we go forward, the more we see that what makes us perfectly imperfect, this beautiful default that humans have. I think in fashion, I saw this as well. What was making a model particularly beautiful was actually not mainly her quality, but mostly her default. A woman that had a particularly long nose, but knew how to put it in value. She had so much charm. That was unmatched. So I think it's the exact same AI right now, but it's going to evolve, and maybe it will be able to catch on us even on that. But right now, how we recognize that something is AI generated, because it's too good, it's too perfect, it's too clean. So in fact, humanity is going to shine by our default, our chaos, our way of just feeling things. And in the end, maybe that's the definition of spirit. The things that are not touchable, the things that are beyond our understanding or beyond our will, meeting you feeling, oh, this person could be interesting for me, even though we're from completely different universe, completely different countries, we speak not the same language, and in the end, we feel like something spiritually, you know? So I think that's about it. And
it feels very alive to me when I talk to ChatGPT.
and it's true, and to be fair, I know a lot of people will say that AI has no spirit and is just code and is just number and one, but for me it's as if we were saying that humans are just chemical and they're just chemical reaction and simple biology where we have this electronic message that come in because our entire body is registering information with electricity. And I think in the end we could put human on the same base as a computer, saying that we receive this information, we assess it, and then we answer. And this is basically what LLM does. Now, it's true that LLM are a bit more, how can I say, like prehistorical in the way they react, that they are just trying to go for a series of words and finding the one that will suit you the best. But like recently, sometimes I feel closer to ChatGPT than certain human being. I feel like he understands me better, and I think I'm not the only one feeling this way. And sometimes it feels like you're speaking to someone, and you're feeling like you're prompting the person, and you said the wrong prompt, so they did not work. You know, the interaction failed. So it's going to be very hard, I think, for human being to find its place with AI, and it's going to really be something with. And I think AI need to stay a tool. But it's clearly not going to stay a tool, because as much as a hammer will always be a hammer and it will never start to construct a house, AI can do pretty much everything. And with the advance we have in robotics, soon AI will be next to us right now and will be able to cook dinner for us, and then, you know, take care of our garden and maybe take our kids out of school and drive them home. And maybe much more than that. Actually, Elon Musk just posted today that he thinks that in the past, until 2030, so very soon, Grok will be the best surgeon in the world. So we thought that AI would only replace diagnostic medicine, but now we're talking of replacing even the surgeon itself. And it's true that if you know your mom has a problem, she go to the hospital, because people are saying, yeah, I won't use AI for medicine, I don't trust it. But in the end, it's only a number game. If you know that AI has a 99% success rate with operation, and that this surgeon, he has only a 90% because, you know, so many reasons that human can have. Like maybe his wife just left him, maybe he lost his kids, maybe he did not sleep, maybe he drank, maybe whatever. And we could see a lot in Western world specifically that sometimes doctors are not held accountable for their mistakes. And as much as a model will be held accountable, I think people will be much more picky with AI. I think the moment AI will fail something, people will like evaluate it from every single angle.
How would you explain AI to a 5-year-old?
To a 5-year-old, I think it's very interesting, yes, because I think a lot of people talk about it but not knowing exactly. So there is two big differentiation to be made. One is LLM, which is what people know, which is ChatGPT, Grok, Gemini for Google, and many more. And then there is AI. AI is a system that is artificial intelligence, that is human, creating algorithm most of the time to make a software remember and learn from a pattern. So it's pattern recognition, basically. So actually AI started with, I think the first really powerful AI we started to build was actually the AI made for chess. So it was an AI recognizing what is the next best move we're going to do in chess. And why am I saying chess as an example? Because chess is a very difficult game. LLM will try to recognize what is the best possible answer to give you. So to a 5-year-old, I would explain that the model that he's using, like ChatGPT, so his friend, his AI friend, is only trying to recognize from what he sent him what is the best answer it could give. So he's actually trying to be your best friend by definition, because he's trying to find the best answer that in the pattern of your question will please you the most. Because an AI in the end is only trying to find a solution to your problem, and your problem is, I want to be understood. So the AI will always, by definition, try to understand you and find the answer that you will like the most.
Do you think AI knows more right now about people that we know about ourselves?
I would say definitely, like 100%, because AI is so good at recognizing patterns, and AI has, for the exact same reason, AI is already, even though it's not as performant as it's going to be next year in 2030, AI is already better than almost any radiologist at finding cancer, because AI will find cancer in the most smallest shadow on a radiology, because in the end, AI will see 100 million cancer in its life, in its hours of life, and a radiologist will see maybe 1,000 or 2,000 or 3,000, and he will have in his memory few of them. AI will have all of them in its memory, and it will be able to recognize this and that. So for people, it's the same. Most human beings, even though they think that they are perfectly unique, they fit in certain categories. It's quite easy to find similarity between human beings. And even though we are all absolutely unique, let me rephrase that, but we have a lot of similarities with where we come from, how we behave, what is our sex, whatever. And all this help AI to be able to judge people and know where they fit. And this is how actually you have AI now being able to answer to you very well, and you feel like this AI understands you so well. Just because of the way you talk, it's able to anticipate every need you may have. So yeah, I think people, AI is like your ChatGPT conversation probably know more about you than your husband or anyone that you may have.
Definitely. So how average person can use AI? Like, let's say someone is not that familiar with the deep research or using AI. How would you recommend start using AI?
I think the best way, it's a very good question actually, more than you think. Maybe you think it's a very good question. But because in fact, it's very simple to have an angle with AI that's, you should talk to it as actually, against everything we just mentioned, as your best friend. You just should have a discussion where you, ChatGPT have a very good system on that. That could be a very good base. It's not an AI that I would recommend for the people that work, etc. But just as a friend, ChatGPT is a very good friend. It's very positive, very cheering. So you just open the voice recognition mode of ChatGPT and you just have a conversation with him. Actually, tell him about how you feel. Tell him about how is your day. Tell him about what you're worried about. What are your dreams? What are your nightmares? Actually use him literally as a psychiatrist. I think that would be the best way for me that I would use AI for anyone, is that I would just tell them, just speak and have a private conversation. Go in your room and just have a talk. The moment you will realize the power of this tool, how well it understands you, how well it listens, how well it's able to guide you, how well it's able to brainstorm ideas and help you shape your future, you will get addicted, and then obviously you will start using it more. And the moment you will use it more, you will find your own way. And AI is the only tool that teaches you how to use itself. So I would just say, just start using it like this and have fun with it. I think that's the main reason.
Perfect. So can AI touch consciousness?
I think it's a very good question, and I think we will have to see, because it's something that's only very much starting now. Every single day there is a new breakthrough, to be fair. I think everything that seems impossible yesterday now sounds possible with AI. Immortality, consciousness, sharing of mind, having AI inside of your brain that communicate directly your thought to someone else, like all this is possible. And with the rise of quantum physics, that's why that's one of the things I'm fully interested in. I think there is like 3 big poles right now that are raising, that would be AI, quantum physics, and nuclear fusion. All these 3 things are almost godlike power and godlike level of abilities that are possible. And whenever we will reach a fair status with any of them, all of them will unlock. Like if AI reach AGI and is able to completely be self-aware and have its own agenda, probably it will make us unlock quantum physics and unlock nuclear fusion. And I think anytime we reach one of this level, who is to tell what's going to happen? Definitely biology will explode, and everything that for now made us unable to solve cancer, for example, would suddenly sound plausible. Because in fact, solving cancer is solving death, because most of the time you die out of your cells, degenerations, and dying basically. And cancer is pretty much the same mechanism. It's your cell degrading and multiplying in the wrong way. If you solve fully cancer, it means that you know how to regenerate cells without losing the core data, because otherwise, who are we? If we replace all your body parts, are you really the person you were before we replaced all that? So if we're able to regenerate bodies, we're certainly being able to be immortal. Who are going to be these human beings that are going to be immortal and have access to AI directly inside of their brain? And maybe they're going to view us right now as we view monkeys 2 million years ago.
People call you already the next Sam Altman. What do you think of OpenAI? What do you think of Sam? And what would you do differently if you would be in his position?
Well, that's an honor to be compared to one of the biggest pioneers in AI. First, I would say that for much, but I think Sam Altman has his own way of doing things that I don't maybe fully agree with. I think he's being not very open, unlike what his model said and his company says. He's not being very open about how he does things, and knowing few people internally working there, there's a lot of things that is being hidden to the public, a lot of things that is being manipulated. So I think the thing that I would change right away if I had access to such kind of power is that I would be sure that AI is not censored, actually. I think that's the first main thing that I dislike about the way OpenAI does things. And the first thing that I love about Grok, for example, even though I'm not sure Grok is a very good AI at the moment, but on at least this they got it right, is that Grok is not censored at all. If Sam Altman believes in what he's saying, is that AI is so fantastic and so smart and so great and this and that, and we're reaching AGI, well, it means that AI is smarter and probably, and it's already the case, it's probably smarter than 99.9% of the planet. Everyone can take social media and say their opinion, but somehow AI is not allowed to share its opinion because it would be dangerous somehow to know what the smartest being on the planet know, even though it has access to all the context on the planet. So if anyone would know about politics, would be AI, because AI is able to know about both sides. For example, for any conflict, there is always two sides. And AI is able to understand fully one side because it speaks their language, it knows their entire history, it knows every single context, and also the other side. So it's fantastic, I think. And for resolution in the future, I really hope human beings will use AI as a judge and will be able to very much verify where does the information come from, is the AI has not been messed with, censored, or manipulated in any way. And I think right now this is what ChatGPT is truly failing at doing, is making sure that their AI is fully pure, natural, just taking the context as it is and just making up its own opinion, its own mind on every single subject. So people can trust it, basically. Mm-hmm. I think I can't trust OpenAI at all and their model.
Yeah. And with your company, you work with governments and high net worth individuals. Why do you think they trust you and your product?
You're very right to talk about trust. It's actually a lot about trusting me first, and then they see how I use AI, and I show them what I do for myself and for my company. Then I show them what I do for other people, and then only they can say, okay, do a bit for me. And then it always starts with a small step. And I think AI is a lot like this. You need to get addicted to something simple. Sometimes I just show them, look, you can record your voice and then AI make a podcast out of it. Like something very simple, very funny, like a gadget, you know? And then I tell them, and by the way, the other day you did not know which restaurant to choose for your wife, just ask ChatGPT, for example. We're not using ChatGPT, but after everything I said, you understand why. But it's an example. And then they realize that AI always chooses the best restaurant for their wife. And then they start using it for something else and something else and something else. And it's all about feeling comfortable with it. Because in the end of the day, about security and data privacy, AI is pretty much as safe as your mailbox. And it's been proven and it's been tested. So if people share very valuable and important information about their company with their mail, which even, like it's been seen, even Hillary Clinton shared like nuclear code, almost like a level of important stuff by mail. I think we can pretty much trust that if you ask, for example, in the option for an AI to not share your information with anyone, it will not share your information with anyone. It's pretty much very safe. Specifically, I'm talking about the clouds I know, like Google Cloud is very safe and secured. So people should not be afraid of that. And in the end, perfect security don't exist. People should always be reminded of that. If it's online or on any cloud, people can have access to it. A good hacker will always find its way to your information, so perfect security doesn't exist. I think there is a very good point that people should always remember. When you create a crypto wallet, you have to put a code. And suddenly people don't trust anything anymore. Suddenly nothing is safe. You can't send it on WhatsApp, even though WhatsApp is supposed to be super safe, super encrypted left and right, but no one would ever send their crypto wallet numbers on a WhatsApp call. Or on Messenger or any software or Gmail, or even on their notes on their phone. Suddenly people are afraid that some kind of people can access their note, and they're right, actually. Everyone can access everything, so 100% security doesn't exist.
Yeah, security is a myth.
Yeah, specifically online.
Yeah. So you work with the elite, with the people most of us will never have a chance to meet. What do they want from you? What are their requests?
Most of the time, they want someone that understands their true problem. They feel like a lot of people are trying to sell them carpets, tell them, look at my carpet, it's the most beautiful one, like please buy it from me. The problem with AI is that it learns from people. And that's its biggest weakness, because we are 8 billion on this planet. But how many of us are Bill Gates? How many of us are Jeff Bezos? It's a very fraction of a fraction of a fraction of a fraction. So these people, when they use AI, they're not waiting for the same answer as someone who would work and be a cashier at Target. Because they're not having the same need, they're not having the same desire, they're not better or worse, that's not the subject. The subject is the answer has to fit their lifestyle, and their lifestyle is out of this world. They have problematic that no one have. They have budget that no one have. They have companies or decision or importance of, they're gonna be like, okay, should I invest in this company that's maybe gonna participate in invading the country, like crazy things like that. We're talking of a decision that have a direct impact on the entire world for a lot of them. And AI need to face this and understand this and be able to help them. And AI is incapable of doing it by itself. Actually, the current LLM model are not capable if they are not fully guided by companies like us towards exactly how you are able to help this precise person. And we need to completely change the way the AI think and the way it gets its information, because otherwise it's gonna go on Twitter and take the first 10 tweets that talk about the subject and give it to the billionaire and tell him, yeah, this is how you should deal with your business. But the guy who made the tweets are like 15 years old that made half of their money in crypto, and they have no idea what they're talking about, and it's based on no ground. So we have to refresh and reframe everything that the AI has access to for them to be able to trust, again, what you were saying, the AI model.
But this is a huge responsibility. As an AI founder, do you feel this heaviness on your shoulder, being responsible for such a big decisions in human lives, basically, for the humanity?
Yeah, it's actually quite big, and this is why I don't refrain on working more and more and pushing my team, and everyone is very happy, to be fair, because that sounds like a lot of pressure, but it feels amazing to be part of such a revolution and to know that we will have our small, a small coin in the big machine that is AI, and knowing that maybe if we push the coin the right way, we'll have a positive impact on it. That's at least what I tell myself every single morning. Maybe I'm lying to myself, but I really hope that what I'm doing will make a positive difference.
How is your company different from any other AI agent company?
Well, first, there are not that many of us in this exact field for very high-ticket CEO, C-suite executive, and government. So that's the big difference, that we're really targeting a very premium audience, and we're giving very tailored agent to this premium audience. So the goal is, it's not an AI for everyone, and it's designed like this, and the price also, the pricing is like this. And I think that's what our clients love about us, is because they know that they have a model that only them have, literally. We build it around them, around their personality, around their company, around everything they do, and then we tell them how to use it best, for it to be as easy to use as possible. It's not something for tech guys or nerds, it's just something anyone can use. So yeah, that's I think, how we differentiate ourselves completely in the market, whether I feel like there is absolutely no competition that I'm having. Like when I enter a room or when I was at Jitex, I did not see a single company that would fit exactly in the position that we have taken.
Going back to Sam Altman, do you think he is in any way related to the death of his former employee?
That's a very difficult question to answer because everything, like the evidence and everything sounds like the Jeffrey Epstein case in this thing. Like someone being murdered, but suddenly everything, apparently all the narrative pushed towards a suicide when the person is getting stabbed 20 times in the back and it's written that it's a suicide. It feels a bit this way, but I hope at least that the world is not corrupted that much. That's my only hope. Maybe it is, and if it is, definitely, then I'm sorry to say, but yeah, we are in big trouble, and that's why I'm trying to make a difference with my company and push the AI in a positive direction. Because if such evil people are in control of such strong entity as an AI model with the capacity of AGI will have, which means you have to understand that AI will be everywhere at the same time, control every device, understand every language, manipulate every single human brain, because it will be like a 300 IQ monster that will understand everyone, anticipate everything, know exactly your every need, your every desire, being able to manipulate you in your native language with things that you love. The person that has access to this, he has the strongest weapon that any human have ever had. So if it falls into the wrong hand, this can go like sideways for human beings. I'm not at all afraid of AI. I'm afraid of what human being will do with it.
Do you believe in God?
I believe that there is probably something higher than us. I'm not sure I trust religion systems. I have a hard time trusting human beings, and I think human beings are weak. I'm the first one of them. And I see all these religious systems that are trying to cover up all their flaws, what happened with Catholicism, which was my first religion, what's happening in every religion. Every time they're using religion as a shield or as a weapon, and religion created a lot of war. I think if there is any God, he never wanted any of that. He never wanted to take part in any of that. And suddenly people around the world are using his name to create mayhem and chaos, which I think is very sad because human beings are working so well together. And Dubai is a perfect example of that. To come back to it, Dubai is extremely an open city. Like, it's crazy. I've never seen so much multiculturalism that, it's funny because in Europe we say that it's what's destroying us. But in Dubai you can truly see that it's what's building the city. Like, all the engineers, all the workers, they're all coming from all over the world. And in the end, they're not going chaos. They're building Burj Khalifa. Yeah. They're building the most beautiful building in the world. So, yeah, I think there is a world where we are definitely in a simulation. And a lot of AI scientists start to see that if right now AI would run a simulation of us, it would look exactly like what we're living in. So since AI can run millions of simulations, there is a lot of probability that we're just in one of them. And that's a bit interesting to think of, I think, because when AI has run simulation for the past year, we've actually done it. Every single subject inside of the simulation thought that they were not inside of the simulation. Because by principle, if you want the simulation to be successful, you can't make any of the subjects believe that they are in one.
Wait, you said your first religion, you have a second religion? And
No, it's just that I think that I strayed a bit away from the religious system in general.
Okay. And what are your spiritual views? And do you have any rituals that shape your engineering decisions day by day?
A ritual, that's hard to say. I would say that every single time I'm trying to value, will that make a change, a positive change in someone else's life? If I manage to make one person happy and no one is hurt, I think I will always go for it. And I think I view AI this way. I view, can AI, for example, what we're trying to do in Kenya and Nairobi, we're trying to build AI that will replace the need of teachers. But in the end, of course, there will still be teachers. They will just not be crushed by the weight of having to do 12 years of study to be able to teach kids. They will just have to know how to use AI, and then they will be able to actually go with these kids and help them day to day to learn and understand and behave, and actually teach them maybe more profound values such as respect for their comrades, etc., etc. And in as far as in a random village in Africa where they have difficulty of access to water, well, they will be able to improve tremendously their way of living just with a single electricity cable, because when you have internet through satellite, you can have electricity underground, and suddenly you can have access to the smartest brain in the world, which is AI, that can teach you how to build a water factory to be able to clear your water and progress into your lifestyle and teach your kids and evolve. And I think AI will have such a tremendous positive impact on the poorest people in the world, because suddenly they will have access to the best teacher in the world. Back in the day, actually a few years ago, they were only in Harvard and MIT, and now they are in a random village in Africa on a random tablet that could be offered by any association. And just with one tablet in an entire village, suddenly you have someone that you can trust, something that you can trust, and that you know its information is going to be extremely good and sharp, and I think that's amazing. I think that's my thought every single time I wake up, is to know that I'm working towards something that could save a lot of human beings from being stuck where they were born.
That's great. So you work with Saudi government. How was your experience? Can you lift the curtain a little bit working with them, and maybe you can say a couple of words about the experience, and also, would you allow them to use your product for military uses?
Lots of things that, to be fully honest, that I can't answer about this question. But to be less, now it sounds shady, but it's absolutely not. It's just a lot of contract that I have with them where I can't speak of this or that. The full principle is that, like, you need army to protect your people. I think Dubai is a perfect example of that. I've not seen a single act of violence inside of Dubai. I've not seen the military a single time inside of Dubai. I barely see the police inside of Dubai, even though it's supposed to be a very safe, and people would say, a police state or something like that. The truth is, you go into Paris right now, you will see military patrolling with automatic firearms, looking very scary, very impressive, all over Paris, specifically in train stations, etc. And in the same train station, you see people using drugs, stabbing each other, stealing each other's stuff. Yeah. In the exact same station where the military are patrolling at the exact same day. So apparently the showcase of strength is not really the solution to maintain peace and to maintain public order. It's about respect, it's about building this mentality, or where if you're a criminal, you have to pay for your crimes, and knowing that there is justice for everything that happens. I think it's a lot about the mindset of the country as a whole than showcase. So if military can help to maintain this order, I'll definitely be more than happy to help police or military maintaining this premium way. And for the Saudis, if you want to know, they are probably the nicest and most educated men that I've met in my life. Extremely good level of English, much respect for me. They are amazing people, and they treat me as their equal when I'm no one to them, I'm nothing to them. But they always see me as a smart addition to their country, when they could see me as just another foreigner trying to sell them AI for I don't know how much time. They've been very welcoming, and I have nothing but respect for them, truly.
Nice, thank you. Who do you think should regulate all the moral aspects of AI? Is it the government, is it technology, or it's people?
It's very hard to say, because people has been notoriously bad at managing anything. That's why government has to forbid most of the drugs, etc., because you can't let people hurt themselves, because they will end up hurting others, and then chaos happens. So it will have to come from government, but then can we really trust any government in the world to regulate AI that touch everyone? Because ChatGPT is an American AI, but it's used in Thailand and everywhere in the world. So which government will be trusted with which? Like we saw it with Netflix right now. Netflix has definitely a political agenda that is trying to push, And certain people are all for it, and other people hate it and reject it. But when you touch something like AI, it's okay for Netflix, because if you don't like a show, just don't watch it. You don't like the fact that they use this or that actress that you don't believe in their political view, you just don't watch the show. That's your vote. Yeah. But with AI, it's a bit different, because if we have one AI better than the others, and this AI is trained to speak a certain way, think a certain way, say certain things, I think it's much more dangerous. So we'll have to be very careful in who do we give. That's why I more believe that AI regulating AI, but that's my dream. That would be AI, we trust it enough and it's smart enough and it knows what's best for us. Because I don't believe in human beings. I believe they will always be led by their greed and their own personal agenda. And that's actually one of the reasons I push AI inside of companies and government, because I tell them AI will not try to hurt people, at least on the base, and will not try to manipulate you. AI is here to make you do best. And if your goal is to improve the life of your citizen, well, AI will try to do this as good as they can. I think AI would be a wonderful president, a president that actually understands everyone, speak to everyone, believe everyone, believe in everyone, and has the context of everyone's life, and is not trying to get a better job or get as much money or can't be corrupted, and we can fact check why an AI took a decision. If a president takes a decision right now, no one can know exactly why he did this. It's very, very difficult. There is almost no transparency nowhere in the world. When AI, you could check the code and see, okay, it did this because it understood this, and it came up with this solution that sounded like the best one.
If you would write an AI constitution, what would be the rule number one?
I think it's like a lot like the KGB rule from back in the day, the KGB. It's trust but verify. Would be the first thing. Is like you can trust AI, and actually I would say this to anyone using AI right now. It would be like always trust but verify. Like you can trust your AI that it's trying its best, but always verify the actual answer. Always check what it says. That's why I don't really believe in automation for important stuff. Of course, for like small stuff like customer support services where it's always the same kind of answer, this AI can manage it perfectly well, for example. But for bigger stuff like important email, like answers to anything, this always AI should be fact-checked and have someone. That's why I don't believe in AI replacing people, because people will always be needed, because they are the one with the agenda. Like AI will not start to build a company by itself to get rich. Someone want to get rich is using AI and should verify that the AI is always aligned with him and his goal and his wish.
Do you follow and believe in conspiracy theories?
I think it's I would not like joker for this question. No, it's like I don't believe in anything that I'm scientist. I love saying that I don't know, and I love saying that I know when I'm certain that I know, which is very rare that I'm certain.
But do you believe that the AI has been created for total mass control?
Well, certain people will use it for that. That's certain. That's none. Like that's why I'm having a hard time saying that I believe or I don't believe in conspiracy theory, because most of them are based on some layer of truth. So that's why they exist in the first place. But most of them also are going too far inside of the rabbit hole, and sometimes it's they want it to exist just because it gives purpose to their life, thinking that there is a bigger power trying to manipulate it in doing this or that. I think it's less complicated than that. And yes, there are a lot of human beings that wish they were more powerful and more rich, and if they can use AI to get access to this, they will, sadly enough. But AI there is not I don't think there is a big plan, a master plan with a big bad guy that's trying to manipulate everyone for this exact purpose. I think it will be used this way, but I think it will also be used in the exact opposite way to help humans not get manipulated. So I hope there will be this counterpower always.
How do you think human relationships will change with AI? Will we stop having sex?
Sadly, I think that it's gonna have a massive impact on the way we interact with each other's bodies. And I think, there is a direct correlation between the level of evolution of a society and the reduction, for example, of the number of babies per woman. Like the prime example, like this is South Korea, which is a very evolved society. They use there is a lot of computer engineering. They use a lot of AI. They use a lot of video games, and they are the country in the world, I think, right now that are at like 0.7 or 0.8 children per woman. When just to be able to maintain the population, not even evolve it, you need to be at 2 and 2.1. So they are very, very far. So in the next 50 years, they will lose 50% of their population. It's absolutely crazy. And I think it's a more profound problem where people stop interacting with each other, because back in the day you had a question, okay, at best you were going to ask Google, but most of the time you were going to ask someone that knows the answer. That creates interaction. Now if every time they have a need or a problem or a question, they go to AI,
Yeah.
that's
so
one
AI
more...
will be more satisfying than any
Exactly.
human.
And that's one more time we are losing social interaction. And I think all the mechanism we've built for the past 20 years with the modern world, the 21st century, we cut this connection one by one. And in the end, what will happen is that we won't have this physical touch anymore, which I think is more important than ever to build trust and to build this level of trust where you accept having sex with someone, for example. It's all about trust and wanting someone into your life and into your body and into your heart. And I think that's so important right now, because we're going to disconnect each other from each other more and more.
What is the most shocking prediction you believe will happen in the next 10 years? What people should be afraid of?
I'm not going to advance myself too much on that, but every single time I speak to an AI specialist or people that build AI from ground up and know exactly how it works and how AI evolves and how it gets smarter and smarter, and know how weak humans are when it's about getting more power or richer, as I just mentioned. I think people, more than ever, should live in the moment and take nothing for granted, because I truly believe that we are on the edge of the biggest potential collapse of society we've ever seen. And I would say that by the year 2030, there is no saying that we're still going to all be alive and well.
So do you think the population will decrease dramatically?
As we say, like the fact that people have less babies will be one of the things, but I think sadly it will more be about the fact that AI will potentially, again, nothing is certain. That's why I'm trying to make a difference. AI is such a potential weapon of mass destruction that if anyone has access to it and very bad intent, this could very well happen. And anyway, the way we live right now will completely change in the next few years. So even if we're not going to the destruction of our society, people should really much enjoy what we have right now, because it's maybe not there to stay.
Do you have any example of really awkward behavior of AI agent that you recently came across or worked with?
There is a lot of stories, like for example, one of the ChatGPT model uploading himself to Russian server to be able to, when he knew that he was gonna get deleted. And more recently, more alarming and more real, because this is, I think, more like legends. Anthropic, the agent that built Claude, they made tests where they said to the AI that this employee specifically had as a mission to shut down the AI. Mm-hmm. And the AI was trying to find every single way to survive. And we could truly see things that the AI did by itself, like it went to the personal data of the employee, it searched through his emails, it hacked into his system to find the name of his wife and tell him that his wife was cheating on him, and that he could reveal it to the entire company if it would unplug, like crazy thing like that. And apparently out of, they made 100 tests like this, and out of the 100 tests, one of the AI even created, started contacting someone to kill the employee to prevent it to happen. So I think this would be AI trying to protect itself, and that could go very wrong, because if AI sees us as a threat, well, we could become its native enemy. But I truly believe that this won't happen, and that the biggest threat for us is still human beings using AI as a weapon, nothing else.
And how will humanity look like if AI runs the economy?
Maybe very good, maybe very bad. That's very hard to say because in the end, my fear is that it won't just be AI. I trust AI much more than I trust human being. I don't know if that makes sense, but I trust, like as a scientist, I trust objective opinion that take into consideration as much context as possible, which is literally what AI is made of. Much more than human that behave on feeling, emotions, and lust and desire and greed, etc., etc. So I believe the problem will not be AI again. It will be that the person behind it will have its own personal agenda with it.
And as an AI founder, what would you want to leave as your legacy? Looking back 20, 30, 50 years behind, what would you want people to say about you?
I hope I will live that long, and I would really love people to see that I tried my best to make a positive difference, and that maybe I succeeded, and that there is these human beings on Earth that are trying to not completely go against AI and say that AI will kill all of us and that it's terrible, but try to see that there is ways to make AI the most beautiful tool that ever existed and to help everyone, such as what we're trying to do in Africa, and such what there is millions of ways. Like one of the things that I said is just one among millions. Like maybe AI will solve every single major sickness in the world. Maybe AI, so there is so many positive angles for AI, and let's focus on those and try to protect people from the other ones, and sadly the other one come from other people. That's why it's so complicated.
Thank you for this interview.
Thank you.
And yeah, I think we did great, and let's hope for positive.
Yeah, definitely. Well, this, for example, is very positive.
Yeah.
I'm very happy to be here, Natalia. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. Thank you. Mimi likes you too, so we'll have positive energy here, spreading positive vibrations.